A belated happy Valentine's Day to all those lovers out there. And on the subject of love, this is my love interest, 10,263 square feet under air of pure luxury townhome living. It is almost a year since I stood on this precise spot, which was just a shell. Now we are only a few weeks away from completing this magnificent odyssey that we started just over 4 years ago with the purchase of this land. The landscaping will be underway in a few weeks, and our schedule of finishing the project by the end of March is highly realistic. As you get these videos slightly out of time sync because of assembling content and the ensuing editing, it will be April or May by the time you see the walk around video reveal I have planned for you. So a question I get asked regularly is, can we invest with you in one of your projects? The answer is yes. The caveat being that our existing investors, most of which have been with us since 2016, will be offered a project in order of seniority. And by that, I mean the length of time they have been investing with us. This being said, there is a QR code on the screen right now that links you to our investor sign-up page. And completing this very simple form lets us know you are interested in joining us on a project. You can also, by the way, go to your browser and type in investcentennial.com, complete the form that presents itself on the screen, and then hit the submit button. All details are treated in the strictest of confidence, and they are for the Centennial financial team eyes only, and will not be shared with anyone. So this is a good opportunity for me to thank and congratulate all the investors in the Centennial Square Townhome project. I always appreciate your support and your money. We could not do any of these projects without your help, so thank you. So, on with the show. The stairs are a prominent design feature of the 3 Centennial Square townhomes, and the following segment is a little bit longer than I would usually allocate to any one discipline, but the artisanship, if there is such a word, that is employed in making these stairs from scratch is so pleasing to the eye that I wanted to share it with you. Leave me any comments below on your thoughts, as I would be interested to know from you if this is something you also enjoy watching or not, as the case may be. The guys here are cutting the components for the stair tread boxes. Over 2,000 components will be manufactured on site to complete this floating stair project. Each townhome garage becomes its stair component warehouse. Everywhere you look, components are being carefully stacked and stored, waiting to be assembled. And the process of carefully gluing and nailing these stair treads together begins. This is where cutting the side and end panels at a perfect 45-degree angle was essential. Once the wood glue is applied, the nail gun goes into action. The same routine is applied to all sides and end panels. Although repetitive, the carpenter has to use the same level of concentration on each piece, which is a skill in itself. Flipping the stair tread over to reveal the hollow, the excess glue is wiped off. The process demands that the panels be completely clean, as you will see shortly when they are applied to the stair stringer. The top and sides of the stair tread are sanded, as after they are fitted to the stair stringers, wood stain and then special wood varnish will bond perfectly to the wood, only if all the pores of the wood are sanded to a fine coarse. In non-technical terms, smooth as a baby's bottom. The The nail gun dispensing over 100 needle nails per tread secure the glue joints. And then once again the carpenter resands over the needle holes and the puncture marks become invisible. This process is being mirrored over all the townhomes by different carpenters. This carpenter is making shim-like pieces of wood used to level the stair treads when they are placed on the stair stringers. They are used to level the treads both front to back and side to side. Hence, no wobble. Okay, hold your breath. Well, I really don't think there's any reason to. Leo is putting down the first stair tread on the stringer. Are we on a roll? Here comes the second. Break out the champers. As the stair tread is placed onto the stringers, you can see that a spirit level is used to check for any unevenness, and where needed, shims are carefully inserted underneath to make precise adjustments, ensuring a perfectly level fit. With gentle taps from a rubber mallet, the shims are positioned securely and any excess is trimmed away for a clean finish. Now, Sika Bond T35 is applied along the top of the stringers and onto the shims to create a strong, lasting bond before the tread is lowered back into place and pressed down firmly, ensuring full contact with the adhesive. Another quick check with the spirit level confirms that everything is aligned, and once the tread is properly positioned, the adhesive is left to cure, creating a secure and stable step ready for use. These are newly manufactured stair skirts. Leo will show you how these are made in a minute. These skirts serve both a functional and decorative purpose, acting as a smooth, continuous trim that runs along the sides of the staircase, covering gaps between the treads, risers and walls. Leo the Magician is cutting engineered wood for the stair skirt for the ground floor stairs in the 4th Avenue townhome. I will let Leo explain what he is doing.
One by a time, so you keep them both together in the same place, you know, don't fight each other. So now, I want to see this fit. If they fit, I'm going to make a mark right where I need to cut, put those cookies on it. I'm making this strong. You see that right there? So, now you see the mark? Before this, both in the same place. The cookie, you know, we gotta put the glue, no? It's only for try it first, and that's gonna go together and get it more strong. You know what I mean? Yeah. So this is for the cookies. This cake color, you know. Now I can go there and try it, and it work, and glue it. You know. See? Now I can do it. 2 lines right here. One right here. Right here. And one right there. So this is what merge it together. You know what I mean? Put wood together. You see the metal right there in my line? Yeah. You see the guys coming up? It goes out to the deep end there. So now I'm waiting for glue. What is that one? Okay. I put glue. Go that way. Okay. And that one. Oh, wrong side. This side was. Wrong side.
We edit that.
You erase it. This is go commercial. It's time to commercial. You made me nervous. This is what happened. You know. You see the line. This is what I made this line. They never miss it. You know what I mean? Now I know it was the wrong place. Okay. Oh, nice. I need a favor for you. Can you read my gun? I'm sorry, my friend. The red one. There you go. You're my helper now. You see? We work together now. Thank you. Appreciate it.
The landings are made out of engineered wood and when stained will match the solid white oak stair treads. Very much like the stair treads, the landings are a box that has been glued, needle nailed and sanded to a glass finish and stuck down with T35 adhesive ready for staining and varnish. The finished job looks magnificent, and I want to thank Leo for being so generous with his time and patience in explaining and showing us the process from beginning to end. A true gent and a great artisan. All right, this is Zach Paczynski. He's helping me put some of this video together for you guys. He's got some of the great shots. How long you been with the company, Zach?
This is 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah,
enjoying it?
Sorry, yeah, of course.
And what are you doing here? What are you doing here?
I'm kind of an assistant in a way. I'm helping out Alex and hopefully one day take over and start doing my own projects.
Oh, there, fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, and also you're helping me do video, which is very important. The people at home are grateful.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Zach.
Yeah.
The flatbed 8-wheeler has arrived carrying the Centennial Square elevators, each one shrink-wrapped, enclosing over 100 components that will be assembled to create a 1,000-pound wall-mounted elevator to traverse the 3 floors of these magnificent townhomes. Each townhome will store an elevator in one of its garages until they are ready to be installed. In the meantime, the electricians from Razorback Electric are installing in each townhome the elevator safety cutoff switch that will override the elevator control systems in the case of an emergency. I'm getting excited to see this happen. The elevator installs, not the emergency, silly. This is a render of what the elevator cab should look like when assembled. White interior with 2 light ceiling panels, not the 4 shown here, a half window panel so you can see out onto the street while travelling the floors, and chrome control panels. It will look the donkeys. As we say back in the home country.
The day has arrived when the boys from accredited home elevators have come to install, well, obviously the elevators. It wouldn't be the coffee machines now, would it?
First order of the day is to prepare the walls for the mounting brackets, which will secure the guide rails for the elevator to travel up and down on. It's important to note here that although we are installing only 1 elevator cab at a time, the preparation for the installation is going on in several units elevator shafts. In this case, the end unit on 4th Avenue and the middle unit on South East 2nd Street. This is the first of several brackets being fixed to the wall for the 4th Avenue elevator. As I just mentioned, these brackets will hold the guide rails. The mounting brackets are very important as they hold everything in place and handle the elevator weight and the load capacity, which in this case is 1,000 pounds or half a ton. Now the guide rails are being attached. So, as the installers move between the floors, attaching brackets and guide rails, these guys balance on planks of wood, which, as I've mentioned many times before in previous videos, is something I just couldn't do. And hats off to them. Otherwise, left to me, we would be walking up and down stairs all day long. The 4th Avenue unit has had all the brackets and guide rails fitted floor to ceiling, and now it's time to add the rest of the hardware that is going to lift our lazy asses up and down this townhome. Like the counterweights that you see here, which balance the weight of the elevator for smooth movement and also for reducing the load on the motor, so making it more efficient and to prevent excessive strain. Amongst other hardware that will be added will be a safety brake system that obviously stops the elevator in case of an emergency and prevents free falls or sudden drops. I suppose that's good to know. This is the bracket that is going to hold the motor, the pulley chains for the counterweights, and basically throw the elevator cab up and down the floors. Well, I don't mean literally throw. Perhaps I shouldn't have used that terminology. And there she is, 2 horsepower of beautifully engineered technology that is going to smoothly move. And notice, I didn't use the word throw. The elevator cab up and down the shaft in beautiful comfort at 40 feet per minute. The motor is now bolted down safely onto the top bracket with all the chains attached to the pulley system and the counterweights in place. The motor drive system is complete and will power the elevator up and down. Essentially, without being obvious, the motor is connected to the power, which in turn is connected to the control box or the controller, which houses all the electrical components and controls the elevator movement. That is the brain of the system telling the elevator when to start, stop, and move to a particular floor. Okay, time to build the cab, so let's unpack these puppies and get started. First off, we have to build the cab floor. Then attach a side panel to the elevator frame. From this we can join on a back panel with the half window, and from this back panel we can join the opposite side panel, a bit like a giant Meccano set, which nobody knows what that is over here. So I will, for the benefit of my American friends, just call it Lego. You will have to watch earlier episodes of CITV to understand the significance of this comment. It's all coming together. We still need to put a lid on it, but now that the chrome buttons, associated inside panels and handrails have been fitted, it's starting to look like an elevator. But then again, what is it supposed to look like? A flipping sports car? Ceiling attached. Time for a test drive.
There she goes. She's running good too.
It also won't stop so abruptly.
Yeah.
Once we actually have it programmed, you know, it slows to a stop. Whereas with this, it just stops.
And surprisingly, this is not a claustrophobic elevator.
Well, we don't have a gate on yet.
Yeah, but even so, I mean, you've got the window.
Yeah, the window
really
helps
makes a
her
big
lot.
difference.
Yeah, to be able to, like, you know, see outside and everything. But they still got to put a floor on and everything. Keep that in mind. But
Can I step in?
absolutely.
Yeah. Can I go up, or is that a bit?
I
dangerous?
can't. Yeah, I mean, it's not like button programmed yet.
No,
but
no, no, no,
yeah,
no.
Go ahead. I don't want to set you too high up yet.
Well, that's good. No, I mean, let's see the top floor. I might as well go for the whole thing, hey?
Well, I got stuff on top of the
I'm not getting out. I'm coming back down.
I have things on top of your cat.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's okay.
I'll send you up on my
That's fabulous. Just come down. Yeah.
Just get the outside view.
Yeah, I'm doing it. No longer a virgin.
There you go, dude. Well, I've already ran her up and down about 30 times, so.
Never had so much fun with my clothes on. Really. 2 more elevators to install and build, and it will be my pleasure to show them to you finished and ready for takeoff with some lucky new townhome owners. Just a slight nudge to subscribe by hitting the subscribe button below together with the reminder bell. That way you will not miss a single item of interest as we finish off this project. Okay, that said, let's move on. The exterior louver frames that sit outside the elevator windows to offer privacy to the passengers travelling up and down in paradise arrived on site last week, and immediately we got a big arse crane to start lifting them into place. It had to duck under low-hanging power and communication cables, take sharp turns and navigate expensive obstacles. Mind the building! Phew. The next morning, we woke up the crane and went to work. The louvers are 2 feet by 8 feet and are made from aluminum. They are powder coated in black and are, of course, weatherproofed. When they are bolted onto the wall, this must be done in 2 sections. The louvers aren't as heavy as they look. They are more awkward than anything else. And, of course, you need a crane such as this and a bunch of construction workers to get them placed.
I don't know about you, but that bastard beeping noise is getting on my nerves. I thought I would share a bird's eye view of what the construction workers face when putting these louver frames on the outside of the building. I'll tell you now, I couldn't do it. Talking to you is much more my style. Anyway, the crane got stuck in the topsoil while carrying frames to the other side of the building. You want to see it? Of course you do. It took a bigger crane than ours over an hour and a few dollars, I can tell you, to get our little orange devil out of the mire. It's funny, but it reminded me of a puppy with its body stuck between two fence posts. Or is that me just being weird? Moving inside the lift shaft, and you've already seen a brief shot of this earlier, when I took a ride in the elevator. This is what the louver frames look like from the inside looking out, but of course they were designed for people looking in and to offer some privacy. I think they look great, but then I wouldn't I? The surveyors were out in force last week, marking up the driveways for the townhomes. The two surveyors here are measuring the width of the driveway and comparing it to the plans, and then placing stakes in the ground which will guide the contractors when they are putting the curbs and pavers in place. Here the surveyor is using what they call a range pole to mark the distance into the middle of the road where the driveway will come out to. They then spray a pink mark on the ground to denote a survey point, and then hammer a pin into the roadway in the pink mark, which lets the contractors know exactly where to start laying the pavers and curbs. And just to prove to the city that we have a social conscience and that we are strictly adhering to code, we have a safety net, orange in fact, to denote a hazard to any drunk that stumbles onto our site from the local nightclub and wants to take a backflip into our swimming pool. As you can see, form boards are being hammered into the concrete walls so that we can pour cement to set the copings on top. Levels are dictated by laser, of course. The same procedure is being used for the swimming pool waterfalls, and the copings will look great sitting up top, as you will see shortly. The concrete has been poured, or is it cement? I'm not getting into that argument again. The form boards have been removed and the copings await. This worker is smoothing the linear opening for the waterfall feature. Water will flow out, spread over the tile and trickle down. It's going to be lovely, and I can't wait to show you. And on precisely the same subject, his colleague working on another pool is assembling the plumbing at the top of the waterfall feature that will push the water from the pipes embedded in the wall and out over the tiles and back down into the swimming pool. This action is of course looped. Okay, it is time to show you another master craftsman and his apprentice applying mosaic tiles to the swimming pool walls. In this day and age, his attention to detail is staggering. Just in case you're wondering, this is not an everyday occurrence. Craftsmen like this gentleman are very far and few between. I know, because I've employed some real crap. Tell me about it. Really impressive. Just look at that workmanship. An absolute delight to watch. The swimming pool copings have just arrived on site, so now it's time to go and pick them up from the front of the site using that trusty mode of transport. The hand cart, or as us Brits call it, a wheelbarrow. then take them back poolside so they can get cut into shape and size. Now, some of you may say that this is like watching paint dry, and others like me will find this very cathartic, watching genuine craftsmen apply their art for what will be the benefit of other people. They began by meticulously cleaning the wall's surface. After using a laser line to mark a straight path along the top, they apply a bed of mortar along the wall, spreading it evenly, and then carefully they place each coping stone like a soldier onto the mortar, using a spirit level to ensure each stone sits perfectly level. Marvellous. And once again, the results are outstanding. The exact process is applied to the top of the waterfall feature, and once laid they will sand and polish the stone, which I haven't captured in this video, but in the final episodes of this project I will of course show you. These are the swimming pools as they are right now before further tiling below the waterline. The apprentice puts a fine grout on the waterfall feature and carefully wipes it off with a sponge. I don't want to keep waxing lyrical about the standard of work on this entire project, but these guys exemplify it here. Here, lime rock, also known as crushed limestone, is used as a base layer before we lay sand as a filler between the rock to keep the ground stable before we lay the pavers down. The trenches around the swimming pool are awaiting inspection from the city because herein lays the yellow gas line that will connect to the swimming pool heater, which obviously will warm the water for the 1/2 day a year that it will be needed here in Delray Beach. Once inspected, we will backfill it with soft soil, as we obviously can't have any rocks that would puncture the gas line. This is one expensive delivery of Miele appliances. Fridges, freezers, microwaves, ovens, wine coolers, washers and dryers, all of which sit in each townhome kitchen. All will be unpacked and installed by certified Miele installers. This worker is cutting a hole in the dryer wall above what will be the stovetop, gas no less, and this will be for the overhead extractor hood that we will be installing. This exercise obviously has to be repeated in all the townhome kitchens. Dirty, dusty work. Time to break open the wine cooler. This is a 24-inch built-in under-counter wine storage with 34 bottle capacity, 4 wine racks, and it's a dual temperature zone, and comes with humidity control. The thing is almost a bloody spaceship. This is the intriguing thing about plans. You see them on paper, you take it for granted that everything is going to fit just so. And when it does, you're amazed. Why is that? Anyway, it's very handsome, and I could do with a glass of wine right now. And this is one big ass fridge and freezer with a total capacity of 19.58 cubic feet. For all those of you that are an aficionado on this sort of thing, has all the bells and whistles and is eye-wateringly expensive. This is a Miele Pure Line 1.6 cubic feet microwave oven. This is a 30-inch single convection smart electric wall oven with 4.59 cubic feet of capacity. This sits underneath the microwave oven, so very convenient. Taking a look inside the fridge, it has a 14.02 cubic feet capacity. All the amenities that you'd expect with a Miele fridge, including, would you believe, Wi-Fi. How you use it, I have no idea, but apparently the fridge comes with a 1-year course at university on how to operate it. And just flashing by and nearly missed was the 5.54 cubic feet freezer. More next episode.
Now, I'll admit, this is the first time I've ever spent 2 full minutes focused on a single shot of a carpenter cutting a rectangle into a kitchen island cabinet. But hear me out. This isn't just any cabinet, it's bloody expensive. One wrong move and the entire panel's ruined, scrapped. And another one has to be imported all the way from Italy. So precision here isn't just important, it's everything. Meet Michael. He's been in cabinetry for over 20 years. He's German, meticulous by nature, and after 2 decades his skills are next level. Watching him work is almost hypnotic. He picks up this specialty saw, don't ask me the name, I haven't a clue, and after carefully drawing a guide by hand with just a simple ruler, he dives in. I know, watching someone cut into wood might not sound like edge of your seat content, but there's something mesmerising about it. The care, the focus, the stakes, and while there's a risk you might be tempted to skip ahead, I'm hoping you'll stick around. Maybe, like me, you'll find a bit of magic in this moment, watching a true craftsman at work. Actually, I exaggerated, it was only 1 minute 23 seconds, and that includes showing Michael cutting this side as well. Please feel free to leave me all your rude judgments underneath this video in the comments section. Michael is now attaching a fridge panel bracket that is made for this specific Miele fridge. In fact, each Miele appliance has its own specialty bracket that connects to the appliance door, cabinet or drawer with a variety of clips, screws and magnets. So aligning the bracket is paramount, and only a skilled practitioner like Michael here can accomplish this task without a complete disaster breaking out.
Such as if I did it. It's a painstaking task and lots of toing and froing with aligning and realigning, putting the panels on, taking the panels off. I was filming him for a good 10 minutes and he was still not satisfied with the freezer door, but look at the finished product. Truly stunning. In fact, the word I would use is beautiful. And finally, here is Michael. Yeah, he gets everywhere. Putting a door on the wet bar cabinet in the middle unit club room. I would imagine a little easier task than trying to do the kitchen appliances, but tune in next episode and I'll show you this lot all finished. I think you're gonna love it.
The much anticipated delivery of some of the kitchen, bathroom and laundry room countertops has arrived on site, and because of the weight, the team has to prepare the ground so we can transport these heavy slabs of quartz into the garages of each unit for storage before they get installed. That's one big slab, obviously for an island counter. Here are the slabs in temporary storage. The Engelhard team is installing two separate kitchen units today, the larger middle unit and the Osceola Park Lane end unit. Here, one of the installers is cutting 2x4 inch wood which will support the kitchen sink when they are located. You will see this shortly. And this is the middle unit quartz kitchen countertop, ready to be seated. Needs 3 installers on this one and a bit of coordination. I'm always worried that the bloody thing will snap in half. That would be expensive. I've been told before that this is unlikely. Potty mouth. Everyone's fingers could be compromised. I wonder how long it would take to get another crew out here. It's been said before that I am all heart. This is the Osceola Park Lane master bathroom countertop. A beauty, yes? The countertops are now being prepped for sinks. Now we are in one of the N unit's club rooms. I can't remember which one, but the installer is measuring and marking out the countertop for the faucets and rounding off the corners to stop illegal games of shove penny. This sink countertop is waiting to be installed in the 4th Avenue townhome. The wood cut up earlier is now placed under the countertop and will eventually support the sink. Getting the wood aligned correctly is essential, so great care is taken. And here is the said sink, a sill granite, which is a granite composite material engineered to take on the most demanding kitchen tasks. The sink is now in place. It's time to fit the countertop. That old saying, measure twice, cut once, comes to mind. As I was filming, kitchen islands were being fitted. Sinks and countertops installed in other units, including laundry rooms. Now, this is what I have been waiting for. The delivery from Engelhard of the quartz slabs that will transform our kitchen and bathroom walls from great to superb. The piece de resistance, long awaited, long anticipated. I am really excited to see it being placed on the walls. Straight off of the truck onto the dolly, off the dolly onto the countertop, onto the prepared wall, and they're cut in the slab. You can see in the background is a perfect rectangle for the electrical outlet. Great job. The same procedure was mirrored in the other end unit, all starting to come together, my friends. Like an expensive jigsaw puzzle, the quartz backsplash is cut to all shapes and sizes to fit into even the tightest spaces. Now, the installers and the guys from Engelhard are known in South Florida for being the best in the business. Their job is to get it up on the walls, with each seam, whatever the design, matching. So, for instance, if you have a cloud design, which this is, the slabs must align. I looked last week and it was faultless. I find that amazing. These large quartz backsplashes are glued to the walls with a high-quality silicone adhesive, which is specifically designed for stone and solid surfaces. On this job, we are using a 100% clear silicone adhesive to ensure a strong bond without damaging the quartz material. I think you would agree that this particular stone we chose looks great. The guys finished this kitchen corner with a backsplash for the window ledge that adjoins the countertop, while his colleague measures and then drills 2 holes in the quartz for the sink faucets. Break out the band. All the toilets for all the townhomes are now installed. Now, the friendliest plumber in the world, is installing all the faucets. This job in itself will take nearly a month. As you can imagine, 3 townhomes, 3 floors, all the bathrooms, kitchens, laundry rooms, wet bars, etc. It's a lot of taps, plugs and drains. I suppose it's not a wonder that he's so unhappy. But the faucets, or the taps as I like to call them, now they're installed. I've got to tell you, 10 out of 10. Take a look. And then of course there's the shower hardware, and you can't go wrong with Kohler product. Top of the range. Hey look! I found another toilet. Anyway, getting back on topic, the beautiful Kohler tubs arrived. Very, very handsome. Just a few little updates. All the corner hand basins are in the downstairs townhome cloakrooms.
The Miele coffee machine is now plumbed into every master bedroom, so all is well with the world. And for our future owners who may have a property up north, the gas is in the building. Interior doors have been removed and replaced after the final coat of white paint has been applied. One coat of primer and 2 additional top coats mean that these doors are ready for a beauty contest. There's not too much more that you can add about painting a door, so perhaps I'll leave it at that. Except this painter is balancing on the edge of a ledge 4 floors up, painting the elevator door. Joking aside, there is an art to spraying paint. I know, I've tried it myself and made a pig's ear of it, but I told you that a few videos ago. Everywhere you look, and by that I mean every townhome, the interiors are getting the last coat of paint and touch-ups are being applied where necessary. This is a strong signal that we are getting very near to the end of the construction process inside the townhomes. In fact, there is no inside construction, it's basically all aesthetics now. This past year has flown by, and within a few weeks this will all be over. But before that, all this hard work you've watched in previous episodes will show itself to be what it is, part of the sum of a magnificent project. It was my intention to show you the plumber installing all the shower hardware, but unfortunately he was struck down with a touch of the miserable bastards and wouldn't let me film him working, which is a shame because his work is exemplary. Here is a selection of the afters without the befores. Bathroom shower glass panels and doors were delivered on site and distributed around the townhome units and made ready for install. The guys went straight to work. It took just over a week to get all the shower partitions and doors installed. All done. This is a different unit finish, but I'll show you all the showers and bathrooms next episode. Knowing your coloured flags placed in the ground on a building site is very important. These orange flags, which indicate the presence of communication pipes underground, which in our case is cable TV and internet cables, must not be confused with pink flags, which in an irrigation system denotes where the sleeves are to be placed, which could be under concrete or pavers. So young man, what are you doing here? We're putting all these flags down.
Yeah, I'm putting in flags for sleeves across the driveway and sidewalks for the irrigation system.
All right.
So we can water the landscaping once it's all in place.
All right, so I wonder why you're wandering around with all these pretty flags. Sitting off site is a truck full of sleeves, so how does it all work? A smaller flexible diameter pipe like this green one, almost the consistency of a hose pipe, will fit inside a sleeve. The sleeve that you can see here is a larger diameter pipe made of PVC. It will run underneath the ground surface, including the concrete and paver driveways, and will act as a protective conduit for the softer irrigation pipe. Both ends of the sleeve will be exposed at ground level, allowing for easy access to the irrigation pipe if needed for repairs, maintenance, or as shown here, connection to the water supply. Notice the pink colouring. The sleeves with the irrigation pipes inside are backfilled with soft topsoil and will be underground for years. But if by some chance a leak happens in the irrigation line, the sleeve allows for repair without breaking up the concrete. Also, if additional irrigation lines need to be added later, the sleeve provides a path through which to run them.
All the townhome units are self-sufficient with their own air conditioning now. AC technicians, like our friend here, powered up the air handlers over 6 weeks ago. This footage was shot just after the cut-off period for adding content for the January CITV episode, so is somewhat old news now. Therefore, in some instances throughout this video, the townhomes are a lot more advanced. Anyway, we have no need for the temporary AC units that, as you see here, are being disconnected and were removed from our site a few weeks ago. Bringing you more current, the AC techs were in every townhome putting in the air vents, as you can see here. And just for the eagle-eyed, the ceiling vents, especially in the laundry rooms, will be square. But although we're putting square vents in the soffits above the appliances in the kitchen, which we're showing you right now, they will be replaced with linear vents before we finish the project. All the painting on the outside of the building is finished. Now it's just about touch-ups and cleaning overspills. The final drain covers have been delivered to the site and have been fitted. The backflow plumbing for each townhome is complete and all the valves installed. All plumbing utilities are connected to each townhome, including irrigation. Here the worker measures the distance and level of the pavers from the rear of the townhome to the swimming pool. In this shot, he is compacting the ground, ready to add limestone, sand and then the pavers. This worker is cutting the sidewalk for the Southeast 4th Avenue townhome driveway. In preparation for the pavers being laid, the ground must be clear of all rocks and debris. These guys have the arduous task of clearing the entire site. Good luck. Garage lights have all been fitted. Let's look at them switched on. Brilliant. And all the interior lights have been delivered and will be installed over the next few weeks. Kitchen under cupboard lights are installed, wired and partially connected. Finally, in this segment, the kitchen ceilings are being repaired to receive the last of the hi-hats in accordance with our lighting plan. As you can see, there is still a lot of work to do, levelling and grading the dirt. Still, a lot of grading has to be done by hand or shovel in this case, but obviously it helps if you have both. As the saying goes, many hands make light work. Getting this grading and compacting done correctly is vital, otherwise laying the curb and pavers will just turn into a train wreck. And as you can see, this is a lot of land to grade. This yellow twine denotes where the fencing will go for the larger middle unit on Southeast 2nd Street. Now we're at the stage where we are starting to clear up. Everywhere you look, the site is getting cleaned and prepped for the final push. Even the sidewalks are getting spruced up. The dumpsters are full and ready to leave the site for good. This is how you try to stop people from falling from the 3rd floor club room at the top of the stairs. These are temporary hazard barriers to prevent people from falling from the 3rd floor 40 feet up to a crumpled mess on the 1st floor. It's awkward but necessary. 2x4s planted in cool sand in a bucket with horizontal strips of wood going across the entire front of the top floor facing the roof deck. The same arrangement is in all the other top floor townhomes. Once the beautiful glass-filled stair railings arrive, obviously these barriers will go. So we only have to look at these ugly things for 2 or 3 more weeks. And finally, a few people asked me what the white box attached to the tree was. It's the dock box. It's where all the plans for the site are kept for a city building department inspector to review and sign off on at the site when we are going through the different permitting stages. All the approvals are kept in this box with the plans.
Here are some teaser clips for the next CITV episode of elements of the build that are finished or almost finished and awaiting final cleanup. Well, that's another episode done and dusted. I can't believe how quickly these months pass. Don't forget to subscribe below by hitting the subscribe button and, very importantly, the reminder bell. And while you're doing that, I will wish you a fond adieu, or whatever the French word is for that, and catch you on the next episode. Getting excited? No?